Hello, welcome to Pause at the Well, our monthly soul guidance reading. I'm here with Angela Marie from Grounded Dreamers. I'm Maria Mellano from Integral Bloom. So let's all take a moment and just get present to here we are, it's February 2nd, thinking about the last month, thinking about what you created from the last month, what miracles happened, what are you grateful for? And take a moment to get present to that, creating the context of gratitude and miracles and grounding our dreams. Declare that and offer that up to the universe. And let's move into our reading for February.
We are in February, and the way these cards came out, it's really indicating a change of season for our soul, right? This is, the planet has its change of seasons, and we have spring coming in March, but our souls move, at their own pace. And everything that we pulled today indicates the time is ripe for us to make a new shift, um, create more. So the first card that I pulled here is the past. And it says, releasing, rebirth, and spring. So it's the spring of our soul. Um,
Hmm.
but it also says here, and so I listened as my soul told me to let the past go so that I may awaken to how much I've grown. So before we get to shift seasons, it's nice to sort of assess and acclimate to where we are and how we got here and prepare ourselves to release and create. Um, the energy that we use reflecting and staying in place and this is where I came from. This is my story. This has been my story all my life. Whatever, however because we all do it, create scenarios and thought processes in our minds to hold us in place or hold us, tethered to the past and on an emotional level, we have the opportunity to take that energy and channel it in a new direction. We're in control of all of this. It's true that stuff happens to us and takes us down for a second and holds us in place and makes us question and wonder, but we also have the power to change it and move forward.
Hmm.
So this is a period of
By letting go
less
of the past.
mind, more heart, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Less
less mind.
thinking and more being. Just be and let the energy take you instead of I got to think this through first. We're not in that right now. We're going to incorporate the action, but we're first going to create the flow, which is
But
purely our soul's work.
let the energy of letting go of the past, which clears the way for letting the energy taking you forward. I just want to make that distinction.
Completely,
Yeah.
yes. And as we're reflecting, this is talking about releasing the past, but in order to do that, we have to do a little reflection and assess, which parts of this do I want to learn from and carry forward with me, and which parts do I really just want to let go. And
Hmm.
I feel that the higher self, the soul lesson, is what we want to carry forward. And the emotional ties and the mental blocks and those things, those lowered, more 3D energies, are what we want to work on releasing so that we can take all that came before us and bring it forward with us to the future on a spiritual level.
Hmm.
I pulled the DNA card. This is a karmic card. This is really talking about our ancestral DNA. And, we have genetic DNA, we're born with it, but we're also born with a sense of what came before us and on a spiritual level. And it's true that every generation, physically 3D on this earth, tries to create an easier life for the generations to come, right? Like if you think back a couple generations, I know in my family, it was all work and toil and, get your hands dirty and make things happen, and now with the way that we have evolved, that may not be as necessary anymore. It's still needed in some pockets, but we also can take new heights with the way everything, the planet has evolved, and we can evolve like beyond that as our own soul, if that makes any
Hmm.
sense. But
Absolutely.
it does say take the time to sort of reflect on it and acknowledge those who came before us, thank them, and then use all of their hard work to create a better life for you and your future, um, and the people that come after you. I also pulled this laziness card, which is kind of the whole energy. This is kind of saying, well, I did all the work, I made all the accomplishments, I did a lot in this life, which is what this card asks us to reflect on, right? How much have you grown? And
Mm-hmm.
then here we are sitting fat and happy going, "Yay, I grew, I don't have to do anymore." That isn't the case anymore. And it says, the illustration here shows that this area is cracking. It's starting to dissolve. Like, yes, I've arrived at my goal, but it's already dissolving in front of my eyes because it's the next part of our journey is calling us forward. The
Mm-hmm.
journey is kind of never over. We can
Mm-hmm.
take time to rest a little bit, but always what's coming next. Um, always point to the future. And that's just a reminder to us that, yeah, it feels really good, all that I've accomplished. And now what?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I pulled the mirror, and this is a card of self-reflection and the ability to look within, but also when you feel like, oh, there's all these little details that I'm stuck on, to also have the ability to use that mirror to zoom out and reflect on the bigger picture and the flow of where things are going instead of this very moment that has me tethered sort of to the past. Um, zoom out and be able to see the whole picture so that you can create that flow, which is our next card. I got creativity. And this is divine flow. This is sort of second chakra energy, um, a place where, like I said in the group, I loved how that came out. There's really the creative, expressive part of you is purely spiritual and inspirational. It doesn't come from thinking or making checklists or plotting out what to do. That's not the creating, that's the execution. But the creativity and the ideas that come from it, they really don't have any form or structure. And that's the area that we want to tap into. There's no real form or structure to creative expression, but everything that is of form and structure comes from that, if that makes sense. It's like let the flow start and then execute, then figure out how we're going to put this together. But don't skip that inner being, inspirational, flow and the moments that come and inspire you. That's what we want to get back to in this season of our soul change. um, Letting that flow is one thing. And then I got the leadership card. Now, this is make decisions with clarity, with strength, guide yourself, take charge of where you want to go. Put those actions together, one foot in front of the other, and kind of never lose sight of what your vision is, even if things get in the way and you have to sidestep, but you keep hold that vision and lead yourself to it, by using your own inner light. And then I got the combination of these two. I got this, creativity and the action card to take action, and I got fire, and that's sort of the alchemy between the two. It's being able to be creative with strength, right? It's creativity and strength is what that says. So it's like taking both of those energies and going, yeah, this is my vision. This is my inspiration. And here's how I'm going to do it. And watch me take the steps to go forward and get this done. Um, and then after all of those processes, zooming out and being able to flow and taking action forward, now you start to see. I get the new beginnings card. Now you
Mm-hmm.
start to see from this past energy that we started with, there's an opening to move
Mm-hmm.
forward. We
Mm-hmm.
we have the opening to go forward now. And that's the first set.
Beautiful. I invite everyone to close your eyes and just take a moment to imagine what is that creative flow that's coming through, that fire, that passion. What is that dream in your heart that's maybe been suppressed or quiet? Just allow that fire to just burn away anything that's blocking that from coming into creative presence. Just stand in, like, let's just do next month. Let's just stand in 30 days from now. What miracles, what have you created? Just allow yourself to see that come to fruition, see it bloom. So we're standing in that, and just take a moment and think about what were the steps that you took to get to that place. And just let yourself register that question. And then let's move on to the next part of the reading.
Okay, so we see the light, right? The new beginnings card showed us the way
Yeah.
forward, um, moving, our soul into the next season. We start out this next spread with right away the big banger of vulnerability, which is
Yeah.
representing our fear, our worries, our uncertainty. Yeah, I see the light, I can see the vision, but I don't know if I'm enough, or I don't know if I have the right parts in place, and I don't know.
Mm,
Um, this is necessary to feel, to embrace, and to go through. It's
mm.
necessary in order for us to create change. It's almost as if, without the vulnerability, you're just executing plans. But without that feeling of the impetus that it takes to kind of go, I don't know, and then to really like move through that and say, it's okay if I don't know. I can still move forward without knowing. And along the way, things will become more clear. It's that trust factor that we all kind of have to get over that hump. In any shift and change that we make, we all go through this to
That's
varying degrees, right? And we know
mhm.
that sometimes the vulnerability can knock us off our feet and have us stuck for a while. And we know this, but we also know things don't stay the same. Everything is temporary, everything shifts. And so trusting that and being able to just be vulnerable when we have vulnerable moments, you know, um, helps us to just embrace the entire journey and to be able to appreciate when we move forward that we can say, look, I overcame a lot.
Yeah, and it also allows us to express our authenticity, our vulnerability, it allows our authenticity to come through.
Yeah, because yeah, we're human, we're not robots,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
We're not
And then when we
yeah.
allow that authenticity, we author the unfoldment of our dreams getting realized.
It does. And then later that becomes part of our wisdom. That becomes
And
part
our
of our
resilience.
right. And we know the journey
Mhm.
we've taken. And the next card I pulled comes along with that. It's acceptance.
The key is
Welcome it.
within us.
Yeah. Embrace it. Embrace those down moments because that is what creates the next power move. Embrace it all. And I know we like to skip over the ugly stuff or the fearful stuff or the but if we start to learn to really just be in it,
Hmm.
feel it out, feel the feelings that come,
Hmm.
it's shorter. The duration, we can pass by it quicker. If we stay in fear of it, it's always going to kind of be almost here instead of just stepping right into it and going, yeah, it's scary. And I'm going to go forward.
Well,
It helps
also,
us to move it along.
yeah, and that if we're in that fear that way, it also keeps us stuck in the past.
Hmm. Yep.
Because normally what we're afraid of is either like, well, what happened in the past was X, Y, or Z, or it keeps us like blocked from the future because we're
Mhm.
afraid of what could happen, which is based on the past. So either way, it's past based.
Exactly.
And
And
this
that
whole reading is about like surrendering to acceptance of vulnerability and creativity and allowing us to like go of past based living and create
move
forward.
because
Yeah.
then we're in flow.
Yeah.
That's what flow is. Yeah, it's presence.
Yeah. I love
And
that.
this is our next card. Speaking of presence and acceptance
Hmm.
and embracing it, I pulled friendship. I'm friendliness, and this friendliness card is that sort of this. These two trees are on their own. They could be the past and the future. They could be our inner being and our outer world. They could be where we are now and where we wish to go.
Our
It
soul and our ego.
all of that. And we in to master this, it's important that we learn to let it all exist within
Mm-hmm.
us.
Mm-hmm.
And then that gives us more power to really sort out and kind of go, oh, yeah, I'm going to bring these elements, these lessons that I've learned in the past, I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
bring them with me into my future. But I'm not going to bring the emotional ties or the
Mm-hmm.
real world ties. I'm going to bring the lessons using my higher self. And I'm going to bring that along with me into the future. So I know what shortcuts I can take from a
Mm-hmm.
higher self perspective, not
Mm-hmm.
from or your truest self, if that's how you
Mm-hmm.
want to say it too.
Mm-hmm.
But allowing for all of it is really the way. And we tend to want to like sort out the things that feel better and don't feel so good and like avoid them. It doesn't, that's not being our true self, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't serve us because now our energies are scattered. We want to sort of alchemize all of this, bring it forward with us. But I'm not saying bring the past with you, like the anchor and the tether that it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
That part of it on the 3D level, we don't need to bring with us. But the higher lessons we do, because that speeds up what we want to do next. Because
Yeah.
we can zoom through some of that.
Yeah.
Leading me to the next card, of course, is the release. And this is, the autumn equinox, but it's also kind of reminding us
Mm-hmm.
little by little, we don't have to just say, I'll never think of that again, this past thing that held me in place. I'm cutting off from everything. No, that's not it. It's little by little. You know, I had this past experience and it really made me question myself. And that part of it, I'm not going to bring forward. I'm going to release that part. I'm not going to question myself anymore. I've gotten this far. I know I can take care of myself. I trust that I will make the right decisions for myself when the moment comes. I trust myself. That I'll bring forward. But these doubts, I'll leave behind. And this is what this release means incrementally. What leaves do we want to shed from ourselves at this time? And to make room for more growth, right? And more growth is potential and possibility. And
Mm-hmm.
this is kind of saying it says, reach out to the potential that is calling for you.
Mm-hmm.
And this is reminds me of that new beginnings card that we came upon in the last spread. It's this opening, but this is on a higher level. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, like not only did I have that vision, but look what all it could be. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm really starting to feel into it now. And that's the energy that we want to create in sort of a divine flow perspective.
And stand in that energy of that vision created. Yeah.
Completely be in it. Yeah. Future, it says future, highest self, and quantum. So this is
Mm-hmm.
beyond what we're doing on this earth. This is
Mm-hmm.
combining, our future self, our higher self, our truest self, whatever the word is that you want to use. I use soul, combining that with our real world. This is a grounded dreamer. This is exactly what a grounded dreamer is.
Yeah.
Combining that with our real world reality and how am I going to execute that while still staying true to my soul?
It's also the
Perfect.
essence of what integral blooming is.
Yes, it's the same. It's exactly that. So now we have this perspective of, ooh, let's get into this flow. Here I go.
Mm-hmm.
Now here comes growth. And this growth, this is the toadstools card in my little forest deck. And what happens is the forest floor, it's covered with mulch and leaves and it's in darkness and it has dirt. And, there are points of time after a certain cycle or whatever that the toadstools emerge all at once. They
Mm-hmm.
will all rise to the surface and pop up. And suddenly it's like, where'd all these mushrooms come from? This is the energy that we're talking about for our growth. It's like the light goes on, or suddenly you see the path
Mm-hmm.
that was eluding you. You still had the
Mm-hmm.
vision, but you didn't see the path to get there. Now I
Mm-hmm.
see it,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's all about your soul's perspective in this reading. This is your soul's season of change.
Mm-hmm.
And I got transformation. And this
Mm-hmm.
reminds me that we are not just physical beings. We are not just spiritual beings. We are not just, the past and who we are. It's all of it. And this transformation is a complete, full, holistic energy of shifting.
Hmm.
It's really once and for all, certain aspects that have been holding us back are going to be a
It's
non-factor
it's the
in
quantum
our
leap you were talking before
quantum
about.
leap.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then our final card, which I want to remind everybody comes on top of this new beginnings card,
Hmm.
is new beginnings. So it's a double
Hmm.
whammy,
The
and
daffodil
it's the
fairy.
daffodil fairy. And this is one of my favorite flowers because of the
Mm.
way they start. And then you can put them in a little water and then wake up the next day and they're they're just there. They're kind of like that toadstool energy. They just show themselves with all
Yeah,
their beautiful glory.
they just pop.
Pop out. New
Yeah, and
beginning.
then the dawn card, I just realized this. Can you show that dawn card again side by side? Yeah, I just love that. The sun. Yeah, and then I looked up in the flower petal deck that I have. I just got this connection. The daffodil flower in the flower card collection says the sun shines brighter when you're here.
Mhm.
And though that card came over the dawn card, which is the sun rising
Yeah.
for the new beginning. It's like all so creatively, beautifully connected.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
And this is
thank you
where we're
so
headed
much.
if we navigate it
That's right.
in an authentic way. That's where we're headed.
And you know, I just got present to this too. Like in February, we're also headed to the spring. And earlier you said that this reading is the spring of the soul. And
Mhm.
you know, February is going to move us to the beginning of spring in March. So it's just all of this beautiful blooming and grounding and blooming language and energy towards the direction of our dreams is so powerful this month. So thank you so much and have a beautiful month full of miracles.